Welcome to the Leo Be the Lion show. Today we're going to be talking about a Super Bowl preview, Super Bowl 56 preview, again with the Cincinnati Bengals versus the Los Angeles Rams. So let's get right to it. Today, I've been thinking about a lot of things about this game, but I'm going to bring you the most important three things that I think that you need to look about, that you need to watch out for, so that when you're watching the game, besides the commercials, besides the halftime show, which I know are going to be cool, you got to watch these three things during the game that'll make the difference in the outcome of the game. So the first thing we're going to get into right away is Joe Burrow versus Matthew Stafford. With quarterback being one of the most important positions in the game, this Super Bowl set quarterbacks apart from the great ones to the legends, or from the okay ones to the Hall of Famers. So I really think that Joe Burrow, Joe Shiesty, Joe Burr, whatever you want to call him, is going to come in, and I think he's not going to be afraid. He's not going to be scared of the spotlight. I think he's going to be able to come in and really take care of business, try to win the game. I really think that Matt Stafford is going to be ready to play. He might be a little nervous. He never really had a chance. We never really could tell what he was in Detroit because he only got to 3 playoff games. And so now he's in the Super Bowl. And so we want to thinking about those two quarterbacks, I really think the edge goes to Stafford just because he's been in the league longer. But don't discount Joe Burrow. He really deserves to have his day in the sun. He's won at LSU with one of the best seasons, if not the best season for a quarterback in NCAA history. Then he comes in, puts his team almost in playoff position, and then he hurts his leg. Comes back, and now he's in the playoffs, in the Super Bowl, in his first full season. So we'll see what happens. I really think that the edge goes to Matt Stafford just for the experience, but in terms of league experience, but in terms of playoff and winning experience, I think that's a Joe Burrow might have the edge in that. So talking about those two guys, it makes me think, okay, who's going to be able to protect Joe Burrow? And then what is the Rams' strength? The Rams' strength, some would argue, is their defense. And I really think that it's the next subject that is really going to be important to watch during the game is the Bengals O-line, offensive line, versus the Rams defensive line. When you have Aaron Donald, when you have great players along the defensive line for the Rams, and some of the best players ever, you really can cause havoc on that up front. So, and stop the Bengals from doing what they do best, and that's kind of like running the ball, working off play action, getting involved in the run game, and being able to pass the ball, take shots downfield. So I really think the Bengals O-line is going to have to really take care of business and show that they can neutralize Aaron Donald. They're going to have to double Aaron Donald, so that means the other players on the D-line are going to have to get off. So we'll see what happens. I really think that the edge still goes to the Rams' defensive line. The Rams' defensive line can take care of business, and let alone when they have a good secondary. And if they can put pressure on Joe Burrow and force him to throw an interception or two, that would really change the game. And same thing for the Bengals defense. The Bengals defense is underrated, I think. They've been able to really take care of business when they've been kind of counted out, so to speak, as the underrated unit on this team. The Bengals are going in, and a lot of people are really touting the Bengals offense, whereas you would say to yourself, I don't really think much of the Bengals defense, but trust me, they really have some ways to get after you and cause turnovers, get takeaways. And that, in any football game, takeaways are king in terms of deciding most of the time who's going to win the game. So in that matchup, I'm going to give the edge to the Rams defensive line. And then the next matchup, which is, I think, one of the most fun matchups in this game that you need to watch out for, is the receiving cores of both teams. So you have the Rams receiving core, Cooper Kupp, Odell Beckham, They just have a squad of receivers. Tyler Higbee, we'll see if he's going to be playing. He's a tight end. And then you can have, they'll throw it to Cam Akers, but Matt Stafford has plenty of weapons. Cooper Kupp was the offensive player of the year, so we'll see. I mean, I really think that Cooper Kupp and Odell Beckham are going to go off this game. I think it's going to be a shootout. I have a feeling it's going to be a shootout just because I know that Joe Burrow and T Higgins, Jamar Chase, pinkies up, Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, pinkies up, and what's the other receiver's name for the Bengals? Well, they have three good receivers. The Rams have at least three good receivers, and they have the Offensive Player of the Year in Cooper Kupp and Odell Beckham. OBJ is going to be ready to play, and so I think this one right here is whichever receiving core gets off more is going to win the game. That's what I really think, because the other two are kind of so close that how are you going to judge which two you're going to pick, the other two spots. But when it comes to the receiving core, I really think if T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, and the receiving core for the Bengals has a better day than Cooper Kupp and Odell Beckham and the receiving core for the Rams, whoever has the better day out of those two receiving corps are going to win the game. So when it comes down to it, who do I think is going to win the game? Who does Leo B. the Lion think is going to win the game? Well, I've heard every analyst. I listen to sports radio. I watch ESPN. I really try to get some research in. I look on Google for news and stuff like that. But when the analysts all picking the Rams, I understand they're going to pick the Rams. They're really all picking the Rams. And because they really think that the Rams defense is the edge, and Matt Stafford and OBJ and Cooper Kupp are more experienced and Cooper Kupp is Offensive Player of the Year. He had one of the best years as a wide receiver. But what Leo B. the Lion's going with? I'm going with the Cincinnati Bengals. Hoo-day, baby. Go Hoo-day. Let's go. So I'm going with them. I just think I'm going AFC love. I'm a Dolphins fan, and I really think that the Bengals are going to try to neutralize the Rams' defensive line with quick passes and then get their shots in. Zach Taylor is a young coach. McVay is a young coach. They're going to try and take shots. They're going to try and win the game with their offensive intelligence and their offensive schemes. And the defense is going to kind of play the secondary role, like who can get a stop when they need it. That's how the defense, I think, is going to be today. But we'll see. I could be totally wrong, but I really think that the defensive game plan is going to be like, all right, let's get a stop on this key third down, or let's get a stop in the fourth quarter when we really need it, when it's 35-31 or 28-24, something like that. So have a good day, everybody, and we'll see you for the Super Bowl. And go Bengals. I'm going with the Bengals. 31-27 Bengals.